Hey, there we go. My microphone decided it did not want to play nice today. Oh, look at Parlin off the top of the book. I could use a bottle of rum, Parlin. Just finishing getting set up here quick. You know, just for you, Parlin, I'm gonna use the airbrush that you sent. Oh, camera, what are you doing? Oh, don't play that. Don't play that game, camera. We don't like that game. Boo. It's going good. Hey, Red. All right, let's see if it wants to behave now. Sometimes these capture cards, I tell you. She won't. She very won't. She behaves up front. Rumbrindle. I'm gonna go on a limb and say that's a what? A dwarf? There we go. That is a little close. So we do not need to be all up in his grill like that. Yeah, the white dwarf. Nice. I just moved everything around in this neck of my office, so I'm trying to figure out where I put everything. Ah, found the bottle of primer. Hi, Avria. Yeah. I would. It's not. Oh, let's say it's probably more like New Hope, Luke, than Empire Strikes Back. He's got like the whitish color cloth on in this build or in the sculpt. What do you want to call it? I have to say, Return. Return is definitely my favorite, Luke. The only thing I don't like about this model so far, as you can see it, his lightsaber's crooked. That's because of the material that they used for when they made these. A lot of Legion models were like this. I don't know if they've changed it yet or not. More of like that soft, malleable plastic. And it tends to change with the heat, kind of like the old resin for 40K. Did I get you all? Yeah. Jeharaharaha. Someone just grabbed the spoon from my hand and flung it. Well, I'm gonna say that someone is probably my son, and he said, "Yeet to your spoon." Posted to my or in the personal. All right, Red. Let's see what you're up to. See what shenanigans you got going on. Look at that beard. Looking good, my friend. Looking good, my friend. I kind of want the model now. I need to do some dwarves, honestly. I like dwarves. And there is my distribution email. Nice. Good day, people. Good day. All right. So I could approach this a couple different ways. So this is, we're going to say New Hope Luke. So he's got more of like that, well, I won't say, yeah, New Hope. He's got more of that whitish cloth on. So obviously I have him in black, and I need to bring out all of that brightness now. Put it on a square base and use it as a thing. All right, I dig it. What was I saying? Oh yeah, there's two ways I could approach this. So I can go at this point and I can do a zenithal, so like a top-down whites, paint over top to catch all the highlights. I can also do the same thing with the zenithal, but I can use it with the dry brush to kind of accomplish the same thing. But we're gonna have to build out. But I wanted to go with black just because the black primer to me sits better than white primer, anyways. So we're gonna start from there. So I'm gonna go over to my chest of colors. Let's see what I want to pull out. What we got? Ice yellow. Depends. Are we talking dusty? Could be. Decompose flesh looks okay. And I'm looking for color arrangement. So that's more like a tan. I want a little bit brighter than that. So I got ice yellow. That's close, but I think a little too much on the yellow side yet. Still filling out my AK range. I really do like the AK paints, guys. If you ever try them, I recommend them. Olive flesh. Let's look at the pro acryls. I think we're getting close here. I think this olive flesh is going to be a good one. And khaki. Get your car keys. I think we're getting there. I think we're getting there. I think we need to polish that off with a bright. Maybe some ivory. Which I just had. Where did I do with it? What did I do with it? swear I just had it. Because I did. Right in front of my face. Check my color palette here. In olive, there's not much difference. I see a bit of brightness out of the bright ivory over the olive flesh. Definitely going to start with the khaki as a base tone and work my way up. I think we're going to just have to play with it and see how this goes. So let's start with that khaki. I'm going to start with the dry brush khaki. I think that's the way I'm going to treat it. Alright. Dry brush, dry brush. Which dry brush do I want to use? I'll go with that one. Make sure it's opened up. Alright. Load up my dry brush here. I still want to get myself one of those pieces of laser engraved wood that they have for dry brushing. I just haven't justified the $30 for a piece of basically almost like balsa wood. But I do see that the potential in them for my art. So I'll do it one of these days. Alright, too much yet. So this first color I'm putting on is khaki. Monument Hobbies Pro Acrylic Khaki. Just using a soft dry brush just to kind of build out my first layer of colors here. So, Red, how long you been working on that dwarf? Right, get all that color in there, Luke's butt. I'm going to leave it just a hair gritty. Because, especially back then, at least in the movies, like, they didn't exactly have the cleanest clothes. They did, but they didn't. So, like, there was a bit of grit to all of Star Wars back in the day. My phone just made a noise, but I can't stop. Already began. About a week now. Still got gems and the rest of the highlights to do. Very nice, very nice. Should be proud of that dwarf. I like it. Mighty proud Dowie. I feel like I'm just beating him up at this point. Hardest part to get is going to be right in his chest, top of his chest, because I always hold it. It's kind of hard for me to get a dry brush in there. I'm going to see if I can get my little bitty guy. If I can't get it, that's fine. I'll use a round brush, you know, like a regular brush to get in there. Just a little bit in that face. A little bit up in that hair, because it'll act like a zenithal for my other steps anyways. Just get away from that black. All right. Now where is my itty bitty? My baby dry brush. What I'm saying, baby, this one's dead. Okay, this one's dead. If your little dry brush ever looks like this, it's dead. Okay. All right. Where is my new itty bitty? There's the real question. See if I did I put it away? Nope. Sure didn't. Ah, found it. Yeah, that's what it's supposed to look like. Dead? Not dead. But it's so cute. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I might be able to use it for a drill, like a stipling brush. Oh yeah, that's better. Gotta take care of this. This is probably my favorite dry brush, but I actually at the same time would not recommend people to buy it. Does its job like it's supposed to. Don't get me wrong. It's nice to get in the tight little spots, but for the price that they make you pay for this brush, it is unreal. I think this little guy is like $20-$30 from Artist Opus when I bought it last, or at least from the store that I bought it from. But they don't really give them away, that's for sure. And I like Artist Opus brushes, but I don't at the same time. My biggest gripe with them is A, obviously their prices are extremely high. And I don't know if they fixed their quality control, but some of the lengths will be different sizes. So like if you can buy, let's say a size one time, and then you have to go 3 or 4 months later and replace that brush, the next one's like half the size. It's like what? You said Elite on the Black Templar model, right? Oh, for that Hellbrick, yeah, I'd say that would fall under an Elite nowadays. It's a Hellbrick I painted like a couple years back now. All right. Now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start feathering in some other colors here. So let's try. I don't even know if I've opened this olive flesh before. Nope, brand new. Get the seal, you do. I should probably move that so I don't end up putting my hand in the paint, which I'm known to do. All right. Let's see what this does. Now I'm approaching this more as a dry brush. Not too shabby so far. Really easy to lose your dry brush. You gotta make sure you got the right consistency inside that brush. So it's starting to do what I want it to do. One way or another, we're going to get there. This kind of allows me to polish it in there. Oh, just about there. Just about there. A little bit more. Get up in the chest area. All right, so that definitely brought out some of the textures, that's for sure. So now the next thing I want to do is bring out that bright ivory. So this is a lot closer to a white. And I think that's going to help tie some of this together. Not sure, not a recipe that I've used a lot. This definitely is a lot more vibrant. So we're going to see what it does. Take a light dry brushing of this and then come back with an actual real brush just to pick out some more of the highlights. Definitely starting to get off that dirty ivory, dirty white, which I think is fitting for this paint scheme. Oh, there goes Devin. Back down to the store he goes. Thank you, Barbara. Appreciate it. So to bring out all those textures, all those lines and recesses. That's a big thing when you're painting miniatures, is to make sure that details not only pop, but they travel. So that way you can see them when they're on the table. Because, unless you're really up there, like looking at like this in your face, you're not going to catch all those details like if you go in there. So a lot of times you have to hyper accentuate so that way you can see them from farther away. Averia, he just left. Yes, he's back on his way towards you. Always check your dry brush, especially once you load it. It's so easy to overload your dry brush and not realize it until you're slapping it on the model and you're like, crap. There's a blob I can't take back. Alright, here comes the butt. Bring that up. Hey, thanks, Rob. Appreciate it. See all those shapes starting to pop out. And all this is right now is just dry brushing. Probably one of the easier techniques. All about just keeping, like I said, watching how much paint you have in your brush, making sure that you don't overload it, and not pushing too hard with the brush. There's a lot of things that I've noticed people that haven't really dry brushed that much. You tend to push harder than you think because you're trying to get that extra paint out there. But in doing so, you end up with this. No brush left. You're getting all that textures. All those textures to start popping out now. Now I'm trying to remember New Hope Luke. So he's got. I'm trying to remember, was like his belt and things black or were they like leather? I have to look it up. It's been a while since I've seen the movie. I think I'm probably going to get about as much dry brushing as I can out of this. Gonna have to start switching over to a real brush. All right. So, as you can see with that, like, that was just dry brushing. So, like, you can see where it brought out all those highlights and everything else like that. And we started on a black model, and we even started, we dry brushed with relatively lighter paints. So, good foundation to start with from there. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to start actually hand highlighting some areas just to help bring out even more shapes and go from there as soon as I remember where I put my brush. I promise, I paint more than this. One little bit. All right, so I'm gonna go straight with that bright ivory. This is the last color that we just used, the dry brush. This is gonna be a little bit more concentrated because I'm actually using it with a actual brush now. So wherever I put it, it's gonna be a little bit more bright. The big thing I'm trying to do is aim for the big parts of the wrinkles, sharp turning points in the cloth. See a mode line. I should have probably went and cleaned this back up. I didn't. I'm not the one that actually built this model, but that does not give me the excuse to not double check it. Because OCD is a thing, and your man Jesse's got it. I want a couple of the spots right here to be a little bit brighter. Not too much because there should be a subtle shadow there anyways. Really bring out those wrinkles though. He's starting to look like he's ready to go get a hand chopped off. Stay away from that too much. A little bit more heavy-handed here towards the top end, just because that's where most light should hit anyways. I want to make sure that I add plenty of volume with my paint there. Wrap around his arm. Red, you are correct. So I covered that actually at the beginning of the stream with his limp saber. Is a lot of times something that you will see depending on what material they use with the models they make. So when at least when Legion started out with making models, they used kind of a more softer plastic resin. I don't know exactly what to call it, but it reminded me more of GW resin cast. Um, so with a little bit of heat, this can be straightened back out. So that's fine. I mean, I can get that fixed. But the thing is if heat's applied again, you end up with this. So what happens, like, when it's standing up, you're in a warm room, a little bit warmer than normal, that plastic tends to droop a little bit. So even if I do that now, it's just give it a good, good summer holiday, sitting on the table, he's gonna have another limp saber again. I'm probably going to come back and add some white highlights, but I think I first want to look and see what kind of other materials we've got going on here. I think what kinds of things popping up. We'll look at that in a minute. Where are you, Mr. Luke? Mr. Skywalker. See, browns, browns, blacks, browns, browns. I think everybody under the sun has done a little bit different. But most of them seeing warm browns, which I'm okay with this because I have a good recipe for that. All right, so I'm gonna go with the recipe that I was just working on some infinity models with. So we got this boy right here. I'm gonna go with that for his bags and other leather abilities. Appendages, whatever you want to call it. All right, so that was it paints. That's all I can say apparently, because I don't remember which it was exactly called. Where are you at? Not mahogany. Not that one. That drawer is dead to me. Pretty sure Settle Brown was in there. Seriously, where did it go? I've been robbed. Are the pants hiding in there? No, no. All right, show's over. Can't find my pants. Kidding. No, orange brown was one of them. I don't think it was that. Get in there. There's leather brown much. I guess that's what we're gonna have to roll with. Went to the zoo yesterday and saw a piece of toast in a cage. Keeper said it's bred in captivity. I mean, you're not kidding. All right, sir, I was not prepared for the dad jokes to begin. Caught me off guard with that one. All right, let's get some brown on here, Dad. It's not like I don't make dad jokes all the time, so. Dad jokes are the best jokes. Oh, you're a dad now. Gotta learn them now. Oh, believe me, I have dad jokes coming out a lot. I think it's kind of like one of those things that you just innately do. Like I'm surprised I haven't woke up into like the white next shoes and khaki shorts yet. All right, one holster. We got the strap. Definitely like my darker brown better for this leather SP, but it is currently MIA at the moment. Not a big deal. I can make this work. Sometimes it's best to think outside of your comfort zone. Keeps you on your toes. I'm addicted to brake fluid. It's okay. I can stop at any time. Can you, though? Can you? Something tells me your children say otherwise. All right. Let that dry here for a second. Straighten my brush out. So, fleshy, flesh, fleshity flesh. Hmm. Do I still have the flesh here? Let me see what I got for recipe. Well, I found one of them so far. Speaking of kids, I had a proud dad moment the other day. His son got up and walked. He's 17 and just a lazy shit. That's a good one. I like that one, Red. Hey, thanks, Aaron. I appreciate it, man. Oh, okay. 2 seconds giving up on this. They must have robbed me of taking that colors back down to the studio. So I'm gonna have to improvise. That's fine. I know how to do that. We're gonna use some AK beige red for a base on this flesh. Basically, it reminds me a lot of Reichland. All right, let's get these hands. Better enjoy these hands, Luke, while you can. All the little nooks and crannies. All right, Luke, let's get your face. Sure, there's an ear popping out right in there. And stay away from his eye holes. Just because I want to make sure that there's not as much paint in there when I actually start painting the eyes. It's so easy to lose eye sockets. Just making sure my opacity is all taken care of. I don't want none of this, blackish grayscale popping through for what I'm doing now. I wanted it in the clothes because I want the clothes to look a little dusty. I don't think he's got any other skin popping out, so I think we're good with that. So I'm gonna go with this next color for his flesh, which is basic skin tone. Most original name ever. Shirts mixed up good. All right. So this is where a little bit of experimentation is coming through. So I'm not used to using these color combinations just because I've, haven't studied all of my AK recipe. What I mean by that is just haven't played with them enough. I haven't played with this particular color. So I'm going to just start playing with it on my palette here. Get a little bit of a 50-50 between the previous skin color and the next one. So that way I have a good medium ground to start working with. So what I'm going to do here is start tracing out on the face. So a lot of times what I like to do is come right down the nose, bridge of the nose, come out, get his nostril right there. Start picking out the shapes. Like he's got his cheek. Wraps around into his temple. His upper lip. Bottom lip into his chin. See, I just got a dot on his cloth. Go me. It's easy fix though. Don't forget that ear. Do the same for the other side. Same principle, right down the bridge of the nose, get his nostril, upper cheekbone, upper lip. I've now lost the moisture. It'll look a little funny at first. That's fine. All right, so I'm gonna go to that pure flesh tone now. I'm gonna do the same thing, but I'm gonna do it a little bit more subdued. So, bridge in the nose, little dot for the nostril. And I catch the eyelid, the very top of cheek, bottom of the, or sorry, top of the lip, the chin, some here in the bottom of the jawline. Get the ear. But don't forget the ear is more for me than you. Same thing on the other side. Grab the cheek, top of the cheek. I'm going to go back and get a really thinned out of that 50-50 mix I just made. I just want a nice middle grounds. I'm going to push it in between here just because I see that. Just want it to settle down a bit. She's a little loud right there. All right, so with that, I have this ivory. Use that for the whites of my eyes since I already got it out. As soon as I find what I did with my detail brush, I think I stuck it away. That's file. All right, let's see if I can get the eyeball. Still not enough water. That's the fun part. As soon as you start dropping in brush size, then you want to get like little pupils and stuff like that. You need to be very careful about your water mixture. Not enough, you can't use the very tip. Too much, it's just going to flood right off the brush. So just like that, I have lost the pupil. It's like what I just said, which is fine. I go of dials for X Suite 3-pack. All right, good to know, Parlin. You talked to Avria, correct, Parlin? Got that all figured out? All right, awesome. Just want to make sure that you got it when you need it. That's next week. Okay, cool. Don't forget, Thursday, Mace Windu. I remember. You're very welcome, man. Just rolled off my knuckle. All right, So what are you? What issue are you? I see. All right. So to fix this eye, because I'm sure we've all done this before, I need some base color. Reclaim my eyelid. And then I'm going to go up to my 50/50. All right. Now I need some black. Is this black alive? Oh, it is. It is. All right, Luke, let's see if we can give you a pupil. I will have to say, out of the models between Shatterpoint and Legion, I'm going to fall more on the Shatterpoint side. I don't know if it's just because they're more up to date with the techniques that are out now for making miniatures. All honestly, that's probably what it is. Let's see, where was it? You were looking this way. Get my butt kicked by his eyes today. So let it be known, even we get our butt kicked. The eye looks good, and I gotta fix the other one. It's funny. The first one, you're like, "Hey, that one looks good," and then you do the second one. It's like, "No, never mind. I take that back. First one was trash. Do it again." I uploads a murder bear to personal. Murder bear. I like murder bear. Whose murder bear is this? Now I gotta go look. Now we're getting somewhere. Of course, I hit the eyelid. Top eyelid. Looks like I got one up there too. I think what this face needs maybe is a little bit of a wash. Let's get a wash ready, shall we? Ooh, let's see here. Some Reichland. Feeling it. One drop. Come on. There we go. Some Laha medium. One. On a thin watch, I think. 2 to 1 on the Laham side. All right, let's see if it helps start bringing some of this together. Lose those beautiful eyes I just made for a second. That's fine. So now I'm gonna come in here and start sucking it back up. While we wait for that, start getting his hands up. Probably gonna have to do a little bit more balancing in his face, but that's fine. Give that a second. All right, Parlin, let's see what you got for this murder bear. Oh, that is a murder bear. That is a murder teddy bear. That's something I want to see. That's always the Ewoks, man. It's like I want to come up. It's like, oh, I want to give you a hug as they like chop your kneecap out. I was gonna use a little bit more graphic language than that, but I gotta remember I'm online. All right, so with this leather, this makeshift leather, needs to be darker. Argrax it is. Use it straight out of the pot. There, that's more like the brown I was looking for. Is the brown I was looking for. I'm just gonna give that a second to dry. So while that's taking a second to dry, because obviously it's a wash, I'm gonna take a quick 5 minute, let that dry, go grab a drink, and then we're gonna get ready to highlight all of this leather on Mr. Skywalker and move on from there. So be back in just a few. Go get yourself a drink. Now you walk away for 2 seconds. And then your sound wants to be done. Wait. There we go. Oh. Do not need all that. There we go. All right. Oh, I really made everything mad, didn't I? Keep that in mind. Ah. It's always annoying when it does this. It's because literally the reason it's doing this is because I walked out of the room with my earbuds in and it caused my computer to freak out, so then it readjusts the audio. It's on 10. Deactivates and activates. Come on. You know you want to do it. Please. Please and thank you. I'll be your friend. Aha! There we go. There we are. Okay. Now that I'm back, let's start knocking out some of the rest of this leather. Our wash looks like it's just about dried for the leather, so we can start playing with that now. I'm going to add a little bit more water to my palette. Looks like I'm getting on the dry side. All right. So with this leather, I'm going to do some orange brown. These are all AK paints. So we got orange brown for our highs. Let's separate them. Let's be the new one. There we go. Beautiful. This is going to be our high orange brown. It's going to be the top of it. Saddle brown for our mids. And then we need this leather brown for our bottom. All right. Let's make some leather here. I'm going to start right here on the outside. All right, so we're going to start with this facet. Just because this is the facet I can see. Start bringing in that mid-tones. So now I'm going to add a little bit of that orange brown to that saddle leather brown. Looking for about a halfway point. Halfway as I'm going to be able to get with it. Thank you, Avery. One Big Mad. Oh, is our son Big Mad? right. Just working my way around now. Getting back in my painting groove. You learn to bypass the lock screen on my tablet when fruit are playing. Yes, yes. Our 6-month-old is dangerous. We'll just put it that way. Feel like I need some metallics in here, but first let's finish this other boot. Let me get that rolling. All right, let's find some metals. Metals. I think I was robbed again of my metals. They even take. Hey, Rick, could you text Devin and see if he's got my gunmetal? So while I wait to figure that issue out, let's see here. Luke is what colored hair? Sometimes I saw him as blonde, sometimes I saw him, I think it was light brown. I'm pretty sure it's light brown. Light brown. Do I see people painting with blonde hair? I ain't gonna be that person. I really wish I knew. Hmm. Always missing. I love when I spend most of my time looking for my colors instead of painting. How much fun. Okay, so if that's the case, let's see here. Let's use. Oh, I found one. They have like 30 silvers. I mean, come on. All right, so we got that. That's taken care of. Let's prep this saber blade while I think about what I want to use for light brown hair. His limp saber. Giving me very Schwartz vibes. All right, so my browns are not there. So we're gonna have to make our own brown. Not that big a deal. I think this looks like a bottle of Rhinox. It is on my desk. I found it, Kendall. All right, so let's hunt for that brown. Give this a whirl, see what we look like. Starting to look like a young Skywalker. Very nice, Kendall. Very nice. Can you tell Devin to bring the Baharoth blue back when he comes back tonight? I don't need it right this second. And your belt buckle is what color? Do I have all right, I think I have just a hair of that in here. A little bit of highlight in the hair. A little bit more. Go too crazy. I'm streaming until this is done, so here in just a minute. My first stream back, I'm not going to go too crazy. But tomorrow, stream is straight up Horus, the War Master, in 30k armor. We're going to have some fun. We're going to have some fun with that one. This will be the last Star Wars Legion character I will be doing on stream for a while. I got a few more to send out from the clients, but tomorrow we are going to be working on Horus, and then we are going to be working on Mace Windu for Shatterpoint. So Star Wars will now be on just Thursdays. Friday is my stream day off. Thank you. And then there's a possibility of bringing back the big bads on Saturday. We haven't quite figured out if we want to do that quite yet, but in the meantime, I recommend anybody who hasn't done it yet, go check out our store at minifreakstudios.com. Our shop's up and running now, so if you want to get your 40k needs, since there's a lot more on the way, but right now it's pretty late, but there's a lot more coming. That way it's right there for you. We're going to have a lot of things on that store for you guys. But in the meantime, here is a quick and dirty Luke Skywalker ready to go get his hand lopped off by his father. Hope you enjoyed. I'll talk to you later.